art isn't a challenge. It's, like no one's work is better than yours because yours is done in your own way. You know what I mean?
Right,
And,
yeah, totally.
and that's
And
what's
I'm
cool.
into like primitive, yeah, yeah. Because you know why too, man? No matter what, like, yeah, I appreciate a hand that is seasoned, that can paint, like still life perfectly and shit. But at the same time too, think about how many experiences are ingrained in our mind
Oh
from
yeah,
childhood. Like,
that's
I'm
crazy.
talking about like, dude, I'm talking about like your first psychological experience in the womb,
Whew.
right?
Wow.
Like, think about how drastic and impactful each little moment is during that stage. Then you're born,
Right.
which is traumatizing as fuck, you know?
Oh yeah.
And then, all of a sudden, each experience you have from that point forward is laying the foundation for your whole way of thinking, like your
Oh
thought
yeah.
pattern.
Yep. That's
So,
crazy.
so it's just like, okay, if I'm hardened off now after 27 years from what my mind was when I was a 1-year-old,
Right.
then I need to get back to that mindset of the 1-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Because
crazy to think about.
ultimately, there's no there's no doubt,
Right. It's still
there's
who
no
you are.
self-doubt at that point.
Yeah. That's
You
that's
just, you're existing,
that's
So
that's
I just feel
crazy.
like in that way, yeah, my hand might not be as skilled as the guy who's been, doing this shit for 50 years.
Right.
But at the same time, if I can tap back into the mindset of a 1-year-old and express from that place, like engage those experiences and like have an open communication and dialogue with my being at that level, and on top of that, be able to create spontaneously and automatic to where I can pretty much have infinite possibility, where I can say anything to you right now. Like, I could say Jiminy Cricket was the best musician I ever saw in person, but the Purple Rain kept me going that one last time, right?
Right.
If I say that to you, that's completely tapping into infinite possibility.
Yep.
To create automatically. Like,
I
I
see
didn't
what
know
you're
about
saying.
Jiminy
Damn, I see
Purple Rain.
exactly where you're going with that. That's like you saying something can bring me back.
Right. So it's like, to me, that spontaneous, that automatic expression is in music, both music, like every art form, I think is a great way to really bring back to the surface those like super, super underground states of consciousness, that we've been developing since we were little. And I think that shit is crucial, man. It becomes like a self-study. It becomes like a series of experiments at that point,
Oh yeah, that's a crazy train of thought right there. Is to talk to somebody and bring them back to when they were little. That's a crazy story right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. And you have to give credit to Freud, honestly, for even coming up with or just at least like expanding upon the idea of the unconscious. And like, dude, really, like, I realized like the surrealists, like the 1900s were some of the dopest times for art,
Yeah, because like back then they were like art has been born. Art's always been alive, but it's like it's involved from let's say the 1700s. You know what I mean? So it's like it changed things.
Right.
In a cool way. It changed things the way we think now today. It's where that is. If we didn't have these certain people that did things, we would be doing something completely different today.
Right, exactly, man. Everything is at that point just like building upon what came before.
Yeah. Yep.
Just continuing the work, man. And whether anybody grabs hold of it or not, you know, and you got to make money somehow.
Right.
But, you know, like in the grand scheme to me, like, you know, it's a contribution for me. It's like, okay, how am I going to feel fulfilled, you know?
Right.
Well, I need to be able to contribute some sort of body of work, you know? I think everybody contributes some sort of body of work, whether it be kids or architecture or whatever, you know?
Yep.
And like, you know, we're just artists. Like we're just cave painters.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I feel like it's a communicator, you know? It's like it's communicating
the universe. I feel like
yeah, possibility and freedom of expression.
Right.
Ultimately, you know?
Oh yeah.
Freedom, dude.
Yep. It's when someone makes something different, you know, when they create something, they invent something, it becomes something to us. You know, we all get to use what this person's knowledge is, and this person knew about it for however long, but it gets released like a product out there, you know, like an iPhone. You know, when the iPhone came out, it was something that's been talked about for probably a couple of years, but once it came out, we all know about it. You know what I mean? It's same thing for an idea, you know, or a hack or a new way to do things with yourself type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Jobs had iPhone 6 in his head, you know, when he was making iPhone 1.
Right.
You know?
That's what I'm saying.
And it's just, that's the whole thing. It's just staying open to knowing what you don't know. You know? Because everybody has an opinion. That's, like, honestly, I don't even care about what I know. You know? Right. I don't even care about what is known.
Right.
The only thing I care about is what I don't know.
That's true. That's true. Because
about everything, myself and my independent books.
I agree with that. I agree with the same thing because normally when someone looks something up, they're not looking at something that they already know. You know, they're always looking at something that they don't know, so they can learn, so they do know. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, man. And it's just like this album. Okay, I want to make a, you know, late 70s pop record.
Right.
You know, like, okay, that's what I felt like. It influenced, like, hints of jazz. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was definitely cool. You used your synth in a 70s, 80s way too. You know what I mean? You totally nailed that.
Yeah, I used the Arteria pack.
Right.
It's pretty much all like Jupiter 8, like Matrix, you know, like all these crazy keyboards from the 80s.
And isn't that crazy?
PS80.
It's crazy. This is what I think it's crazy. Like back then, they were thinking that these things are futuristic like things or sounds.
Oh yeah.
And then you're bringing that futuristic sound back when it's, you know, it's like an out-of-date sound, but it's not an out-of-date sound. You're bringing that sound back to the future. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. It's definitely homage to the 80s.
Oh yeah.
And the 70s in there. Like, and yeah, like this album is one that doesn't really intrude on me. You know, it's like the perfect album to listen to just when you're kicking it at a chill party.
Right.
Because it doesn't force you to listen to it.
Right.
You know?
Oh yeah.
Like it doesn't with the exception of a few songs that will grab hold of your attention, like Man With No Name and Interstate. Like most of this record is easy listening, you know?
Yes, it is. This is how I feel about the trilogy you brought here. It's the Dear You Love Me. That was more about a mental state of mind type of thing, you know, like you know, kind of like, you know, like kind of telling everyone about who you are in a way, but in depth. And then Stars was more about a tragic thing that's happened to you. You know what I mean? And then this album is telling everyone or showing everyone how you feel about that. You know what I mean? That's how I got.
Right.
That's what I got out of it. You know.
Yeah. Where. yeah, man, it's crazy to listen to. I mean, yeah, I feel like in terms of Stars, for sure, Stars was Stars was more about bringing that like really really raw rock bottom place,
Right,
you
exactly.
know, to giving that a voice.
Yep, yep.
And then yeah, and then I wanted, you know, after that, like I wanted to make something that was easy to listen to, you know,
Yeah.
for myself
Yep.
ultimately. Like, and I wanted to make, you know, like a kind of almost semi-danceable kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Where like there's some '80s charm to some of these like records that like just with the beats. Like I used a lot of like in Pair Eyes. It's like straight '90s hip hop
Yeah,
drum
yeah,
pattern. You know?
yeah. It is. Like so I brought it into like my eyes. If I were to throw a genre at it, it wouldn't be it wouldn't be labeled as one. That's for sure. It would be like it'd be '80s indie hip hop. You know what I mean? That's like it, it's
Yeah,
different,
yeah.
very
Like I
different.
wanted to be like, all right, if I lived in 1979, if it was 1979 right now, what album would I make? You know,
Right. That's how you came
that's
out. That's
that's really
crazy.
yeah. Because I mean, dude, think about this, like the level of dopeness of music at that time
Yeah,
was just insane.
it was insane.
And I feel like, yeah, man, and it just bugs me sometimes because like I already flipped it up, you know, I already on this new song. That's the good thing about what I'm telling you about, like Jiminy Cricket and the Purple Rain,
Right.
is that I could say Jiminy Cricket and the Purple Rain, but the next like automatic thing I say to you will be completely different.
Right.
So that's how music is. Like I know every song's gonna be different now
Yeah.
because it's all coming from that standpoint of okay, anything can happen, right? Anything.
Yeah.
But will it work? Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. You know, sometimes it works like 3 years later.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I
Like
know what you're saying.
sometimes, like I didn't even really start appreciating Stars till right now. You know,
Damn, that's crazy. I've been
it,
listening to
it,
that
it's
every day of my life since it came out.
well, it took me making this record to be able to see Stars.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
like it almost takes you working on the next thing and finishing it to be able to go back and see. You know, just like when you're in a relationship with a woman or something, like it almost you can't see what you're doing, your lack of communication
Right.
skills or your mixed messages while you're in the relationship with that girl. You
Yep.
see it when you're in a relationship with the next girl,
Yep.
you know?
That's crazy
And
too.
that's kind of, I guess that's how it is
It's like
for the music
in
too.
in the moment, in the zone. It basically puts walls between your left and right, and you can't see anything besides what's in front of you, and that's all that matters at the moment. But then when it comes to time, you start to think about what was between those walls where I couldn't see. I want to see what that was, and that's what probably brings you back to look at Stars and all the other stuff, is because it was a past of things that you created from top to bottom. You know what I mean?
Right. It was really just a year of songwriting, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and okay, then that's there now. And like I am excited to see what people think about this record. I think this record, I think people will like this record.
I think so too.
You think so?
Oh, I honestly I know so. I know that people are gonna be like, "Whoa, dude! Like, Samson totally, took the right lane and went a different way with this." But I appreciate what he's doing here. I can see that happening. I can see that. I feel that.
Yeah, it's always a crazy thing. I mean, Stars was that leap too.
Right.
I took 808.
Right.
You know, I took the 808 element out of trap music,
Right.
and I wanted to bring it and marry it with an ambient, like clean electric guitar.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
and create like so. It was like I didn't know if that was really gonna work. You know, I
Right.
really didn't. So then you do it a couple times, you fail, and then you finally make something that semi like works. You know,
Yep.
it's like, oh God, that just really happened. So it was just like the same with this. It was like all right, I'm taking a leap forward. I never think vocally this was a very very vocal record in terms of like what I was my vocal range and shit. Like
Oh
what
yeah, no,
I'm
I heard
doing.
that. I heard that definitely too. Like you used your keys and you went to a different like melodies that you normally wouldn't, fall upon, but now you went there and wrote different type of music.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you basically changed your style, but your style is still there. That's what's really dope. It's like Samson's style sound is still there, plus you like perked it up. You added something to that.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad. That's
Yeah.
good.
Cause like I
That's
still I
good.
still hear you,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I still hear like, dude, that's Samson, that's for sure. Like if I turned the song on, didn't even know who it was, I would still say Samson's on this track for sure. You know what I mean? I would still know that.
That's good, man. I appreciate that insight because yeah, I guess yeah, you can only really change so much in a year, no matter how much you know.
Yep.
Like it's true that like that's how I want to say this is the last. Like initially, I feel like this is the last album, but it just feels that way because it's like this is I'm gonna let it breathe.
Right.
It's like I'm gonna keep making songs. Like I already am making new songs,
Right.
but it's gonna be different. You know, it might be an instrumental record. You know,
That would
next.
be dope too, you know? That would be really dope.
Right. So it's just like I want to say it's the last album I'll make that's like an album in a way that it's not part of something bigger, like a bigger story.
Right.
But at the same time, I wanted to make this album be able to stand on its own. You know what I mean?
Yep, I feel you.
Like no video support when it drops. You know,
Right.
I'll do some videos like a month after.
Right.
Like Jake's gonna come out here on the 1st of December, so
Awesome. Awesome.
we'll shoot some stuff. But we're gonna put a lot more planning into it.
Yeah,
At
right,
least
right.
I'm gonna like write up stuff and but
Like,
anyway, like just the record should be able to stand on its own too as an album. It's like,
yeah.
I'm an album fan,
No, I
I'm an
understand.
album fan.
You want it to get its
Like
like its own. I was gonna say something that was like important. You want it to stand out, like like a sore thumb in a way. You know what I mean? You want it to be on its own instead of
right.
the normal ways you've been doing it. Just like for instance, like your videos, there are dope visuals and stuff like that, but it's just you in a beautiful area. You want this to tell a story. And another thing I was about to say too is the thing I forgot is I have a question. Since you say this is your last album, do you feel like that's your last album because your story has been told?
Well, I just feel like yeah, I mean that's a really good question, man. Because yeah, dude, I mean in a way, like I feel like this is the last album that's gonna be so it's already not I mean, it's hard to say. Yeah. I think that this is like the last this is like the closing of a chapter
Right.
in life.
Right. Yep.
I feel like I wanted to making 3 albums in this year got me in a mode where I can't stop creating at that pace now.
Right.
So
Fast.
that's a good thing. But
Yeah.
I'm ready to like take it further. You know what I mean?
Oh
like
yeah.
in terms of just creating worlds. Like
Right.
I really enjoy, like Dr. Seuss, or like Tim Burton.
Mhm.
Like how they took it further, Like
Oh
being
yeah.
a director, too, Like I want to be able to score things, but yeah, I would say that this is the last album you're going to hear that sounds anything like
This.
what you've heard this year.
Right. Word. I feel you on that. Because your songs are they always reflect on the same part of your mind. You know what I mean? It always revolves back to this story and this feeling that you're pawning on, and you've basically expressed your emotions as much as you possibly can to show that and tell that, right? Am I right about that?
Yeah, yeah, totally, man. And most of the time, I don't even really have it figured out until I step back. Like, I put a lyric booklet in this album, so on the iTunes version, you can get the booklet too,
Okay.
which is cool. That's the first time I did that.
That's dope.
But I wanted to, yeah, this is like, you know, I'm ready to just commit my full being to like automatic expression now.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Hell yeah.
It's not gonna be anything like anything. You know?
Right.
It's gonna be just. It's just gonna be. It's gonna just be raw. You know?
Oh yeah.
Just like completely, and it might take it, you know, overboard a little bit. Like it might border kind of absurdity.
Right.
You know? But
oh yeah.
It's just trying to, you know, be more like a child, be more like a kid.
Right. Like
you know,
in
the world.
That was cool how you were saying that earlier. It was like you want to go back to the thoughts of a 1-year-old. Like you want to go and see how you learned, like how your evolution was, how you evolved. You want to go back and see like things that you've seen before but you don't think about anymore because you've passed that, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, man. And it's like writing, it's like that's what makes you feel like, you know, because that concept of get back into the mind state of my 1-year-old self came up in a session that I was writing, right? Raw.
Right.
Like I wouldn't have that concept. Like
right.
that idea wouldn't have been brought to my attention without spontaneous writing.
Right.
And so it's just like it proves to me even more that like I have a piece of fiction that I've been working on for like 2 years. That honestly is a really dope story, you know? Like but it's sort of borderline fantasy, but it very much is parallel to being alive today. But
okay.
I was just like, I have times where I'm just like, you know, the world doesn't need more fiction.
Right, no.
You know?
Right.
Like, I'm almost trying to write, like, just go further into the truth, even though the truth, the further you go into it, the less it is of anything.
Right,
know?
right. No, I feel you on that.
The more it becomes everything.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's just like I could write about Jiminy Cricket and the Purple Umbrella and the last day that I ever saw him.
Right.
And to me, I need to be able to stand behind that. I need to be able to say, you know, or, you know, whatever concept that gets brought about by, you know, going about this, you know, completely without thinking.
Right. And I have another question.
You know?
The way these thoughts right here, is that why your album was going to be called Kids? Is because you wanted it to like kind of represent that?
Kids EP. Yeah, it was the Kids EP.
Right.
At first.
Right.
And the Kids EP. Yeah, the Kids EP meant so many things, and that's definitely one of the things. Probably the primary thing that it meant is just like, you know, speaking to our own childhood, speaking to my own childhood, you know, speaking to me as a kid.
Right. Yep. That'd be a dope video concept, by the way. You know what I mean?
I know it changed so much, but I feel like that's the thing. That's what I'm telling you, man. Because I could have dropped the Kids EP right then, and then I'm gonna make the album still.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure you could.
And that's the whole thing. It's just like it makes projects so almost overwhelming to the point where I'm at the place where, you know, it's like, you know, when you eat the Lucky Charms, you know, and sometimes, like, did you ever, like, take all the regular cereal, eat it first, and then, like, eat the marshmallows last?
Right. Normally I would do the
opposite.
Did you ever do that? Normally I would eat all the marshmallows, then I would eat all the cereal, yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, so I would just eat all the regular type cereal first, and then I would just have, like, a bowl full of marshmallows that I would just go in on, you know?
Right.
And that's what it feels like, man. It just feels like creating freely, completely free, like without being under the roof of an album, just literally being able to have the joy of starting something new, having something born that didn't previously exist,
Right.
like that initial excitement and joy and fulfillment of listening to something that was birthed, just doing that over and over and over, and it becomes like an addiction, you know.
Oh yeah.
It becomes like a fix.
Yeah, it
So
becomes yeah,
ultimately,
yep. It's like it's a drug, but it's a healthy drug. You know what I mean? But then it becomes. Some people can say it becomes unhealthy because like you you let this music stuff overtake you, like not showering, not going out, and stuff like that. That can be depressing at times. But then again, you're releasing stuff that no one else could. You can't tell anybody. You can't just tell someone, hey, look at this. This is what this means. You have to write it. You know what I mean? You have to get it down, get it going. And I totally understand that.
right.
But it's still healthy. It's a healthy thing. It's
Right.
like it's like saying like when you need to cry, you should cry. You know what I mean? You don't let that bottle up.
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
dude. Exactly, man. That's what it is. Like, it's like ultimately being able to create something from a place that's like very like beneath consciousness, you know?
Right.
Okay, I create that thing, and maybe it's something that happened in the past. Maybe it's like a scar, you
Right.
know, like fragments of a scar that come out.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
And now I can reassociate those experiences and those fragments, those scars, with the song.
Right.
Like now I'm literally recreating my memories.
That's awesome.
Like literally.
The puzzle, man.
Through creating from that place. Like now I don't have to remember what actually went down. I could create what that is with both what went down, but reimagine what went down.
Yeah,
completely.
I remember that last time I was talking to you. You said that, and that was really cool. Like you use your music as blocks of memory, and you can always listen to that song and go back to that memory, and that's cool how you do that and how you look at it like that. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people just like to hear certain things and they make certain things, and it's just whatever. But now all your music means something big to you. You know what I mean? They're memory blocks.
Well, yeah, it's a path to freedom, man. Ultimately, it's freedom because now I am in control of my past, present, and future.
Right.
Like now I'm in control of the world that I live in.
Oh yeah.
Literally. You know, even though it's a facade up against, in reality, I hermit like crazy. Like in reality, I'm not. You know what I mean?
No, I know.
But I still am living in the world that I'm creating.
Oh yeah.
And I can't decide right now if I'm a failure because, you know, because I like to food, you know, out and just like, you know, there's almost like this deep thing in me. It's like I gotta go do it in front of a bunch of people, you know.
Right.
And it's like it's crazy because I'm flirting with the point to where I don't need to do it in front of a bunch of people. Like I'm flirting with the idea of like maybe I can just term it out forever.
So like for example, like you're saying like I can studio record my whole life but not play live, or I can play these albums and play them live. What sounds easier to me?
And I
you know
think
what I mean?
like I want to do shows. I mean, I want to do shows. It's just that's the thing. Like I want to do shows. Like I'm gonna do some shows.
Hell yeah, I can't wait.
Not that I'm gonna hire some shows, but it's just that okay, let me write this book and I want to illustrate it. You know?
Right. Okay.
I really need to do that and then put a score to it. You know?
Yeah.
It's not like I'm gonna just be sitting making albums and albums and albums. Like I'm trying to dive into like another side of artistry now, and still be able to like provide that, you know, that same product but in a different medium.
Right. Did you want to illustrate your own, or did you need to get an illustrator? Like, how is that gonna?
No, I'm gonna illustrate it.
That's awesome, dude. So
I'm gonna illustrate it.
You're gonna illustrate it,
and then I'm gonna score it.
Score it. So what does that mean? So it's a book. So is this going to be an audio book?
Is it gonna be what?
An audio book? You know, like something that you get off the Nook or whatever you call it?
Yeah, no, I was thinking more about just, I thought about the audiobook and then actually like scoring the vocal.
Okay.
But I don't like the sound of my voice when I just talk that much, you know. So I'd either have to get somebody else to do it,
Right.
but or I can just drop a instrumental record
Yeah.
that you can bump while playing it,
Yeah.
while reading.
Or you can get the trailer guy to do it. The one day, you know that guy.
Yeah, the trailer dude. Yeah. But yeah, keep that. I mean, I don't know. You don't have to keep that off the top, but I don't like to tell people what I'm doing because then I get bored of it if people know about it. So, but I mean, that's fine. I'm gonna do it. I just have to figure out which piece I'm gonna go forward with.
Right.
Like
No, I feel you.
The marshmallows only. Like there's a piece that's like marshmallows only that I could just write. Like I could write it right now. I could sit down right now and write 100 pages.
Hell yeah, dude.
Right now.
That's good.
But it's, you know, it'll be in the form of the music almost. But
right.
I think that, yeah, who cares? You know, at the end of the day, I'm saying all this to you because this is the shit that makes me happy.
Fuck yeah, man.
Ultimately.
That's true shit.
Who knows, you know, who knows what everyone will think. That's why I say it doesn't really matter anyway how anything that you do is received, because if you're not going to stop anyway, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not going to stop.
Yeah, don't stop.
It's only getting worse.
Right.
Like, it's only getting more of an addiction for me, you know?
Right. And like you said, I know like you didn't like people knowing about your creativity, like meaning like your background of what you're into right now. But a lot of people want to know about who you are and what's inside of you. You know what I mean? So it's not a bad thing. You know, it's actually a good thing. It gets people like, whoa, this guy is like pretty smart. He's writing a book. He's doing all this, doing all that. I can't wait for this project to come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's, you know, all it really is just trying to do another experiment and just like, you know, accessing some of that unconscious data. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I don't mean, like, I know I sound real self-important all the time, and I do take things too seriously.
No, it's okay though. At the same
time, yeah, like I said, like I look at painters, you know, like I look at painters, man, and the older writer, you know, like Burroughs or like Max Ernst, anybody, man. Like, I just look at these people that just like committed completely to the craft, you know. Right.
Yep. Like I like that.
Painters, like, they had shows, but like they had exhibitions. Like, people came and they saw their work, and
galleries.
It wasn't about them.
Right.
It was about the work.
Yes.
And so, like, I look at people like that, it's like, damn, just like totally just struggled to satisfy themselves with what they made, you know.
Oh yeah.
And I like people that were really super committed to. I really respect those people to the point where, like, I wouldn't mind if my identity was just more focused on creating and less focused on socializing, you know.
Right. No. Yeah, I totally understand.
But it's a different time today, man.
Right. No. Yeah, I totally feel you on that.
The time has passed me up completely, dude. Like like, I'm no longer relevant to a 13-year-old. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, a 13-year-old grew up on an iPad. You know, a 13-year-old. Well, I mean, at least I'll say in American culture. You know,
right.
I'm sure that this applies over in other parts of the world too, in Europe and stuff. But you know, I'm sure there's also places obviously that doesn't apply. So
right.
I'm just talking about American culture. You got kids growing up on, you know, the phone. Like, we played outside.
Right. Oh,
like not to say kids don't play outside, but if I liked a girl and she was my neighbor in the apartment complex, I had to go knock on her door, greet her mother and her father if they were still together, you know, and actually converse with the parents, like, in person with that, like, what is my intention, what is your intention with my daughter type. Like, I was engaging the parents, engaging the girl, like, face to face. It wasn't like I wasn't asking the girl to prom on Instagram, you know what I'm saying?
Right. No, you were,
like,
yeah.
So I'm not hating on it at all, but it's just, it's too fast for me. It's too fast for me. Like,
no, I totally understand that. It's like, for instance, like, not to cut you off, but like, I get what you're saying is kids aren't active as they were. I remember on Halloween, there would be people on every neighborhood, people's doornail, not like, you know, everyone would have a ring on their door every second. And I don't even see that anymore. You know what I mean? Like, Halloween just passed, and I don't see any trick-or-treaters ever. Like, I saw a little bit this year. I didn't see a lot of people. My door didn't even get rung once. You know what I mean? That's just crazy to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it's a totally different time. Man.
Yeah.
It's about what taking a selfie in your costume and posting it on social media, you know?
Right, yeah.
Like, and things are going to change. Like, I'm not trying to be the Grinch. Like, I know I'm definitely the social media. Like, I engage in it, but, like, when it comes to, like, other things, like, I just talked to somebody the other day, and they said they're using Tinder, and I was just like, my mind was blown, bro. Like, I couldn't believe.
Oh man,
I couldn't believe it, bro. I was like, okay, like, I had him explain to me kind of how it worked and stuff.
Right.
And, like, I was just, not that it wasn't like that already anyway with, like, Facebook and, like, coking and stuff, but like, I just feel, dude, like, I'll never be able to get down with that. And I'm not trying to be a hater, but I'm always going to be that, like, in person, I need to talk to you face to face. Like, I don't even like texting.
Right. No, yeah. No, I know.
Like, emojis, like, I don't use emojis.
Yeah, I only use those to girls. I feel like writing an emoji to a homie or a friend. It's like me flirting with them for some reason.
Like, the power of being able to, like, organize words and express something verbally,
right,
is, to me, forever more powerful.
Oh yeah.
Trying to pick apart what you mean through text.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Who knows, dog? Like, when I see couples, like, texting each other trying to hash out, like, real things.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's like they can't really say it, but they can type it.
You guys have no chance.
That's true though. I see that a lot, and it's crazy, dude.
Like I said, I'm irrelevant to the 13-year-old, so this opinion is outdated now, almost, you know, because I'm sure there's good things, like social media obviously, you know, connects up people in different countries and stuff like that.
Right.
And I'm not saying it's not good to, like, you know, now people have to be accountable for their behavior, to everything on camera. Like, I understand the positives.
Right.
But
what you're doing though,
it's a weird.
You're inspiring people though. Like, people are like, you know, let's just say, like, you know, someone's gonna listen to this, and they were having something done with their boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever, which way it went, and they're like, you know what, this is right. You know, I need to go see this person face to face and tell them what's up, or tell her what's up. You know what I mean? That might happen. You know what I mean? You're inspiring the mind without even trying. You know what I'm saying? You're saying you're irrelevant, but you're actually relevant.
Think about how many things you can tell off a body language.
Right. Oh yeah.
Like, if I ask you, I don't even need to hear what you say back to you.
Right.
I just watch your energy and just watch your movement.
Right.
And that's how people really get at a sport level, I feel like, you know.
Right.
Like, so yeah, dude, it's something to be said about people saying that. And it's a weird thing to feel like the time you live in has actually passed you up in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Because I'm never gonna be jumping on these ships, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be a fan forever of like, you know, I'm gonna be a fan forever of just playing outside, you know, inventing games and stuff to play, and like, talking to each other, having that nervous feeling when you have to go up to Allison in 6th grade, and like ask her to dance. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
damn, that was nerve wracking for me, bro.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had to like muster that courage. Like, let's help you, man. But anyway, so I'm making peace because I'm an old man now. It's crazy. It's crazy, dude. We're getting old. Like, you think about it, man.
Oh, wow. Oh, dude, I
Another
know.
year just-
I'm half of 50 years old right now. That's crazy to think about. I'm half of 50.
Another year goes by. This year, how fast this year went. Think about how fast this year went.
Right.
And then think about the fact that if you're lucky, maybe you get like 40 or 50 more of those. If you're lucky.
Right.
You
Yeah,
live,
you're
like,
right. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You never know.
Dude, 40 or 50 at most more of what I just did this year. Do you know how crazy that thought is, dude?
That's very crazy.
When I had that thought, like, that shit crippled me, bro. Like, my knees buckled for a second when I was walking around, and I was just like...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You're like, whoa. Like, the enhancement, the advancedness, the technology, the everything, 50 years from now, that's a crazy thought right there. That's just crazy. But you know what? I want you to think about 50 years ago. You know what I mean? I wasn't here on Earth, but, think about 50 years ago. And then think about today. You know what I mean? That change, that big change that happened 50 years ago and then to today. Imagine how fast our change is going to be from today, 50 years from now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, totally, man. Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that we were pre-internet kids.
Right.
I mean, we were pre-internet cell phone, bro.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There's not many people, younger than us that can say that,
Yep.
Like, pretty soon, like, we're going to be, like, the last people that saw before the internet,
Oh, yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Like, and it's just like, yeah, dude, but at the same time, it's a good time to be here right now because, this is a renaissance in a lot of ways. It's an American renaissance.
It is.
It's really a global renaissance, obviously, a global renaissance.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
With technology.
It runs fast. Fast. I remember when the internet just came out, my dad was trying to tell me about dinosaurs on the internet, like looking up dinosaurs. It was like the awesomest thing to look up on Google. Google just came out when the internet came out, and Google wasn't what Google is today. It's crazy, man. It's crazy what the internet has became.
Dude. You used to look at dinosaurs on the internet?
Dude, when I was little, man, when internet just came out, Windows 95, I'm guessing right now.
Yeah, dude, like where you had dial-up.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Yep, you know what I mean? And I would look up dinosaurs. Dinosaurs is what I would look up. That was the only thing I wanted to look up.
That's pretty awesome, dude. That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty sweet, dude. The internet was just so new at the time that it wasn't even practical.
Right, exactly. That's why
it was just like so difficult and like non-user friendly at first.
Oh, it was definitely not user friendly.
And then cell phone, I remember they had the two ways first. Remember?
Yep.
You could only text like to other people that had a two-way, like a pager.
Yep. I do.
That was the
next step there.
Like the beginning of. Yeah, and then you had the green screen.
Yep, and then the green screen, the green little LED, not even LED, it was like LCD, like doot doot, like it was weird. And then the next step from that.
And I had a Nextel, that chirped in high school. And I had to go on the internet to send a text message. Like I had to go onto my browser, like onto the little E on your flip phone.
Right.
And like wait like 25 minutes for it
I remember
to
that.
the page.
I remember that. I do remember that. I had a I don't know what it was, but it was a flip phone too, and I had it wouldn't go through. You couldn't talk to people unless you were on the internet. I remember that. I was on Sprint, and you had to be connected to the Sprint and everything like that. It wasn't like how it is today. To the Sprint home page or something like that, and you have to go in your messages. It was like that.
Yeah, bro. It's crazy, man. That's what I'm saying. The time, it doesn't even exist, man. It's so fast.
Oh yeah,
We're out of here so quick, dude. We're out of here so quick, man.
it's
And it's just
crazy.
crazy,
Yeah,
man.
it is.
Wherever your focus is, like where your thought is after, if anything, you know, it's still gnarly as shit
Oh yeah.
to really sit here and think about the fact that of how little time we have left.
Oh, I know.
And the
It's
fact
crazy.
that this right now is not even guaranteed, man.
Oh, I know.
Like you drove home and you hit me up, you know?
Right.
You're like, yo, I'm on my way home. Like you never know what could have happened.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
You know, in my fucked up head, I'm like, oh shit, like make sure you drive safely. You know, don't, try to think about anything else but driving home, like, 'cause, the worst could happen,
Right,
because
right.
I've seen the worst happen.
Oh, I know.
The dangerous thing is to get too caught up in kind of being overwhelmed about death that you forget to live, But at the same time, it's just crazy, dude. It's a miracle even that we're having this conversation. Really,
It is.
break it down
It's
to that level.
it's just crazy. It's so many things you can think about that's so small that other people are like, what are these people talking about? But really, it is crazy. It's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thought to converse the way we are right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. Just that we cross paths, like space is so huge, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, wow. Just the fact that we were born in the same cosmic moment.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, too.
Like you could have, like the universe could have blinked, and then maybe you're born 1,000 years ago instead of now.
That would be crazy. I'd rather live 1,000 years ago.
But that's nothing in terms of how long is for the universe. Like that's
right.
So
No,
it's just like
it's just the way it happened, the way it worked, the way it
we're
sparked.
Yeah.
I dig that.
Yeah, dude.
Definitely dig
We're
that.
still in even the same geography, man. Like we're on Earth, in the same vicinity. When there's other life forms out there in
Right.
whatever base life that it is. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy to think about. Dude.
It is. It's bigger than us.
I'm looking up
right now.
I'm looking up right now, dude, and like at 9,000 feet, you can see the Milky Way clouds.
Whoa.
It's very faint, like very faint, dude. But space is a lot closer, 9,000 feet closer than sea level. So it's like
where's that point of place though? Where is that though?
Where's what?
Where's 9,000 feet above us right now? Like where would we be able to stand? Where we'd be able to see that?
Well, I guess you'd have to climb 9,000 feet.
Whoa.
Because it's the Rocky Mountains, I guess.
Yeah. I was like,
you got like, but you can see in the relay and stuff. Like I've seen pictures on NASA. Like that's where I got that. I was like, man, I need to see this one day. Like all the NASA archive pictures that you see, like
right.
Where the sky you could see the galaxy in the sky.
Yeah. Well, what's cool about the cameras that me and Jake have is you can tell it to take a picture, like however many seconds, and put those pictures together and they let them expose. Each picture will expose at a certain amount of time, and it will show you the stars like vividly, like super vividly. If you've seen that, if you look up test footage with the GH4, there's people that do that, and like you can see the stars spinning. But the land staying still type of thing. So it looks really weird, but it's really cool. You can see galaxy, like it looks crazy.
Yeah, dude, it just makes you feel so small.
Oh yeah,
like
definitely.
Stars. Think about how small stars is as an album up against the actual star, dude.
Whew, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it just makes you feel like okay. At the end of the day, man, you can accomplish everything in the whole world and feel like the most accomplished person of all time, right?
Right. Yep.
And then you look up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And you just are glad to be a part of this shit, man.
Oh, I'm so glad to be a part of this, dude. There's so many cool things going on, and there's so much cool things coming up, dude. You know what I mean? Like your music is coming up, like some new things are going on for me. Like there's some pretty cool things that are about to intertwine here, and it's exciting for people to see. You know, for them to experience. You know, it's pretty cool. I dig it. I can't wait for new adventures to happen. And once you come out, like I want to definitely, you know, do some more stuff with you if you're down.
Yeah, dude, no doubt, man. We'll link up again for sure, dude. I should be hitting that run from Colorado to through AZ to California. Like that's if I do some shows in the near future, then it would be that stretch. So
hell yeah, we should definitely.
I'll be in the area.
Have you talked to any of those guys from the Res?
I kept up with a couple people on Facebook. Speaking of social media, being positive.
Right.
But yeah, no, I kept up with a couple people on Facebook and stuff, and they're just continuing to fight.
They're still there.
Still occupying.
Whew.
Yeah, I think they're still occupying. So.
Damn.
No, it's cool, man. Like I respect those people to the core, dude.
Yeah.
To the core, like for sure.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, you know, it's just like there's so many things to do.
Oh yeah, I know.
Everybody just has to do what they got to do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
I agree.
To support yourself, and B, just to you know, be really, really in love with like what's in front of your face.
Yep. Stand for something for yourself. You know what I mean? That's like what they are doing. They're standing for what they are, you know?
Right. Yeah, man, the old model of success is gone, dude. For real.
It's crazy.
For real. The old model of success is really gone.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I know what you're saying.
Because there's really no rules to it, other than like gravity and stuff.
Right.
But even those rules can be broken, you know?
Yeah. That'd be crazy if gravity, if like one day, let's just say something crazy happens, like the moon shatters or something. Like, what will happen to us? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man, the moon. I think the moon controls the tides and stuff, doesn't it? I
think so. It does.
The moon, the lack of the void of that gravitational pull would probably destroy the Earth. Yeah, I think it would destroy the Earth, maybe.
Whew.
But, you know, think about how cool it would be, though, because, like, they built, like, this NASA. I think it was actually NASA that built a structure in Antarctica.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's, like, the Arctic Circle. I don't even know where it is. It's one of those, like, untouchable, like, polar places, you know, on the Earth. I think it's Antarctica, like, where there's no civilization at all.
Okay.
And they built a space station, pretty much. Right?
Antarctica?
In Antarctica. And they, you know, the sun doesn't come up during either summer or winter solstice, I don't know. But there's one half of the year, I think, where the sun is dark 24/7.
Right. Right. No, I think that's Alaska. Or is that Antarctica too?
I think it's anything at the poles, you know? Anything at the top of the planet.
Okay.
Either if it's the North Pole or the South Pole. But anyway, these astronomers, they go to this space station, and they just observe, like, they have giant telescopes, the most state-of-the-art telescopes that exist.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
And they just, like, observe the sky, the clearest picture of all, you know, like, ever, dude. Like, of the sky. No light pollution at all.
Wow.
And they can't go outside because it's, like, negative 127 degrees outside or whatever.
Wow.
So they literally have to be, like protected in a suit to go outside.
Because of the rays, or
they just go spend like 4 months, and they like map the sky. They collect a lot of data, I'm sure, but I mean, just the actual visuals that they're seeing, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like scientists that are going there for like 4 months at a time. Like, think about how dope that would, you know.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, to go do that, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, that'd be an experience that, you know, another thing that people don't get to see. You know what I mean? But this thing should be like able for us to all see. You know what I mean? We should all be able to see what's in the sky. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
it's like remember the biggest the first computer was like big as freaking cafeteria. Now it's on your fingertips. Like there's gonna be a day where we're gonna be able to zoom up in the sky with our phones or something. I feel it's gonna happen. Something like that is gonna be able to happen, unless people don't want us to see what's up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. All the things that we don't know yet.
Yep, exactly. Like we were talking earlier. Like I'm just interested in what I don't know.